Hi, it's Jan and Anspal. Baker Street by Gerry Rafferty was released in 1978 and appeared on the City to City album that was released in the same year. It's a classic song. It's so well known. It's been played on the radio since its first release millions of times. All the numbers and statistics aside, it's a beautiful piece of music. So I guess the first thing to start with is the obvious classic saxophone riff that happens at the beginning of the piece that was played by Raphael Ravenscroft. There was an element of contention for many years as to who came up with the melody, and some demo tapes of Rafferty had surfaced later on with him playing it on the guitar, these demo tapes. So some people thought that the saxophone part was written by the saxophonist, but we found out later that it wasn't true. Rafferty had actually written this classic melody. That was the first thing to figure out how I was going to play it, because it's such a powerful melody. And how do I approach this as a solo guitar interpretation? How do I do it? Do I just play it as a single note, or do I integrate chords with it at the same time? Well, in the end, I decided to use a combination of the two. I did So the first note is single, and I play a chord with the second note of the melody. Then I move the C to the D. Create that nice little minor 9 chord there. And then D to C as single notes. And then into the D major chord. So I started playing it, just messing around on the guitar, and I hadn't heard the recording for a little while, so I was just using my memory, and I was convinced that it was going to D minor. For some reason, I had in my head that it's a D minor, but of course it isn't. It's a D major, even though the saxophone is implying a minor sound because of it goes up to the minor third, yeah? Which is implying D minor. But when the band coming in the chords, it's a D major. Kind of the blues thing, perhaps. You get that even though you're playing over a major. That kind of alternation between the major third and the minor third is a mainstay of the blues. C major voicing here, go to the C in the bass, down to A minor, and then that melody again, but an octave lower, and played as single notes. This is just, the only thing that's moving there is the bass. G, A, B. And of course, it's exactly the same notes. It's just easier than playing it like that. You can do, but it's just a bit cumbersome. And then for the first verse, I wanted to do a sort of bluesy kind of country blues approach to it, I suppose. I'm thinking of guitarists like Jerry Donahue, that kind of approach. Maybe not as intricate as Donahue, but in that area of, you get this kind of... I love the movement of those chords and the way the melody, the vocal melody follows the harmony. It's just beautiful. Here I'm taking advantage of the open strings. Get that sound. And then go into the second part of the verse. And then we go into that bridge. Now I'm playing like a D minor type voicing, D minor with the 6 and the 9. D minor to the A minor. C major add 9. Onto the G major, and then the recording it does D major, but here I'm playing a D major but with the open B and E on top. And the second time round it goes to an A major and then an F major over G. And back into the saxophone melody again. If you consider G major, E flat major, F major, now instead of having the G, E flat, F, you change the root note. So you have the G major on top, but an A in the bass instead of the G. And you do the same thing for the E flat major, but with an F in the bass, F major with a G in the bass. With the standard triads. I really like those chords, they're great. The way it builds with the wash of the cymbals and the keyboards, and there's actually a soprano sax in there. You can hear it very faintly in the background, and it only happens on the last chord just before the main saxophone melody comes in. It's just like a little 2 or 3 note riff there, but it's definitely there. It's the soprano saxophone. I like the little decorations on those chords as well. That's nice voice leading there. You've got the B on the top, down to B flat for the E flat major over F, down to A for the F major over G. So you get this down, 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 ba, da, da. Really clever little guide tones there. Another consideration for me was the guitar solo. How do I do that with just me on the guitar? You know, how do I capture that? Just on its own, unaccompanied, it just didn't sound right. So I figured I'll have to add some more notes to fill out the space a little bit. So I went with, letting these open strings ring out here. So I'm playing the C note that happens in the single note line there, but I'm adding the C there, open G, and the E on top. So that lead line is on the top there. So I wanted some notes to ring out there, just as a bridge to get to the next part of the solo. go into that bluesy kind of thing here. I can't remember what I did now. And here, when I was just playing the single notes, it sounded okay. It sounded, it was doable because of the embellishments that had happened before, the open chords and the open strings. So you can get away with a moment of just single notes. And so I just improvised using the D minor pentatonic and D blues scale there. And then back into the main saxophone melody. It was an interesting challenge playing this as a solo guitar piece because it's so full and it's rich, and there's a lot of instrumentation, a lot of different timbres and tones and textures and colors. So it's always fun trying to find ways that you can capture that, a great piece of music that can sound really nice on the guitar, whether you play with just simple chords or you play it this way. It's just another example of a great song, because, as I've said before, a great song is exemplified by the way it stands on its own as a, solo instrument piece. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.